Okay, and welcome back. And I'm almost off the screen, aren't I? Okay, we have Sergeant Tinder with us from the Edgecombe County Sheriff's Department. I love both of our sheriff's departments. Y'all do a wonderful job.
Thank you.
I want to thank y'all for your service. Thank you, all of y'all, for what you do for our communities to keep us safe. Okay, Lindell, I'll let you take over.
Sure. You're here today. You're going to talk about Steve McCray.
Yes.
Is that, am I pronouncing that right?
It's McGray. Mac Gray.
Mac Gray. Okay. 63 years old.
Yes, sir.
He disappeared back in January.
Yes, sir.
Okay, really quick, just to save you from having to go through the basics. There's a white male, brown and gray hair, blue eyes, 5'6", 145 pounds, a staggering walk. He was last seen in a white t-shirt and blue jeans.
Yes, sir.
And he was last seen at 4 p.m. January 3rd on Robinson School Road in Tarboro.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we were talking yesterday and you were telling me about everything that you've done to try to find this gentleman, and I thought it was fascinating how much work y'all put into it. So can you kind of tell folks everything that y'all have done?
Yes, sir. We got the call on actually Tuesday, January 7th, around 6 or 6:15 in the evening, about him being missing. We were told that he had some mental impairments that would make us worried that he was out walking around and not know where he's at. So we actually issued a silver alert, which is when somebody has a mental impairment that you issue a silver alert. It's like an amber alert, but it's for people that are that have mental incapacities. We started that night, we were working on it, and then Wednesday morning we went out around 8 o'clock to his area where he lives. His trailer is in a field that is surrounded by woods, swamps. There's a pond out there, so we wanted to make sure he wasn't out hurt in those fields. So we had 8 four-wheelers, we had 8 deputies on four-wheelers. We had the assistance of a helicopter that we used for at least 3 days. We also had people walking the ditch banks. We walked where his residence is. We were told he walked to Princeville, which is probably about a 5 or 6 mile walk from his residence to Princeville. He would walk to the store, and he'd also walk to the dollar store. So we covered that whole 5 mile area by air, land, with four-wheelers and vehicles riding around, and we did everything we could for 3 days, unable to locate anything. We went back out there the following week and did it again. We wanted to make sure we didn't miss anything. We know he didn't have a vehicle, so we know he was walking. We were told that by family members. We were told that by his best friend that would come pick him up and take him to the store if he needed to go shopping. He had talked to his family on Sunday. He talked to some of his family members Sunday and said he wasn't feeling good. That's what brought our attention to maybe he's out in the field somewhere. He walked away from home and he didn't know how to get back. He fell down, he got injured. We wanted to make sure that he was okay. If he was out in the field, we wanted to get him help as quick as possible. So we did. We also had a dive team come out and put a sonar into the pond that was probably 200 to 300 yards behind his house. We did that, and negative results. They didn't find anything in the pond. That's pretty much what we did. Like I said, we worked on this. We worked on trying to find him for several weeks.
That's a lot.
Yes, sir. We actually went back in March or April, and we figured maybe the fields were cut, or the trees were shorter, or anything. We were just trying to figure out. Right. So we went back out there again with negative results. So we still are actively looking for him. You know, at this point, he's been missing 7 months. So
a couple weeks after he went missing, his debit card got used, right?
Actually,
how long was it?
His debit card was used on Sunday, January. Let me get my dates right. Sunday, January 5th, and then Tuesday, January 7th.
Okay, so he'd been missing for a couple days then.
Right.
His debit card had been used.
Yes, sir. His debit card was used.
Tell us a little bit about that interesting plot point.
We were able to contact the credit card company. It takes a while to go through the process of getting the paperwork done. When we got the paperwork back, we were notified that the person had used the debit card at different ATMs through the county and also in Nash County. When we went and got those pictures, we were able to determine that the person using his credit card was a Brittany Matt Gray.
Same last name.
Yes, sir. That's his daughter.
That's his daughter.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
So his daughter's using his debit card a couple days after he's missing.
Yes, sir.
How did that? Well, we have her mugshot. Tell us how that ended up.
She was arrested and charged with identity theft and several other obtaining property by false pretenses by using his card without permission.
Given the fact that you have, you looked for Mr. McCray exhaustively. I mean, that was more than I've seen in most missing person cases. To be honest with you.
Right.
I mean,
Absolutely.
you really beat the bushes for Mr. McCray. I mean, how do you think Mr. McCray is right now? What do you think his disposition is?
I hate to even judge on that or answer that question. Like I said, he's been missing since January, and it's now July. No family's heard from him, his mom and his sister. No one has heard from him since the day he was reported missing.
Gotcha. So the viewers can read from that what they
can take from it.
Absolutely, I understand that. All right, so tell us, you're on the show here to talk about Mr. McCray and to get people to call in,
Right.
and see. I mean, tell me how you think this is. You think this is going to work out, this whole show thing? I mean, what we're doing here.
I would like for it to. I would love for somebody to call us and say, hey, we saw him walking. That's why I made the statement that he walked from Robertson School Road to Princeville every day, because I want the viewers to understand that if they saw him, please call. Let us know. Say, hey, I saw him walking this day. Just remember that he went missing January 4th. Don't call us and say you saw him in December, because that doesn't help us, because he wasn't missing then. He's been missing since January 3rd or 4th. It'd be helpful to have somebody that has seen him walking. He may have gotten a vehicle. We don't know what happened to him.
Okay, so you've been with the sheriff's office for 20 years.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Tell me, just because I like to always put a little bit of character to everybody. Have you worked anywhere else before?
No,
the
sir.
sheriff's office?
I worked at Edgecombe County Sheriff's Office my whole career.
Wow. So you know Edgecombe County then.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when you're talking about, like when I said Robert School Road, I have no idea where that's at. But I mean, you know the area.
Yes, sir.
So when you did that search, I mean, you knew where you were
Yes.
searching and everything. I mean, I think that's great that you know Edgecombe County probably better than a lot of people.
I've been here a while. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. I appreciate it, Sandra.
Yes, sir.
Do you got
Yeah.
anything?
Well, I think this is great. The relationship is great. I thank y'all for the partnership with
Yes,
Edgecombe
ma'am.
County. We hope to, of course, bring closure to families and to help y'all in any way we can. Hopefully, people will call the number 406-6736 if if you know anything about Mr. McRae. So thank you for being on this morning.
And thank you. And on behalf of Sheriff Atkinson, I'd like to thank you for having us on here this morning.
Absolutely.
He's been fantastic. He really has.
Yes.
I mean, from the day that he took office, when he was appointed,
Right.
first thing he
Yes.
said to me was that we're gonna work on some of these old cases. So, and that's what Mr. McCray is only 7 months now. But I mean, the hope here is to stop it before it gets to be
Gets too
10 or
cold.
20. Right.
Right.
Absolutely. So thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate you coming on.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
And we'll be checking back with you to
All
see what's going on with the case.
Yes,
So.
ma'am.